YouTube channel. I am Mel.
And I'm Shane.
And together we are
Mel and Shane.
So guys, we want to wish you a happy new year.
Happy New Year,
Welcome
2021.
to 2021.
Yes.
So guys, we have something special prepared for you today. We have a special guest.
Special guest in the
Special guest
building.
in the building.
Collab.
Yes, so we want to introduce them. Light up the woods.
Light up the woods. We got woods. Woods.
Hi.
Untitled. Light up the woods. We got woods in the building from that YouTube channel. You know what it is.
Go check her out. We'll
Light
put
up
her
the woods.
name right here.
Yes.
Here. Yeah. Subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So,
Woods, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
good to have you.
I'm excited.
So we have a dope conversation planned for today. A really cool topic that I think you guys will enjoy. Today, we're going to be talking about what it actually means to be the light of Christ in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does it mean to be the light?
What does that look like?
What does that look like?
Yeah.
And so, woods, as
What
you've
better
heard,
way?
what better way
Yeah.
than to have Woods come in and to help us dialogue about this, because not only is her channel called Light Up the Woods, but there's some meaning behind it.
Yeah.
There's some meaning behind it. So Woods, welcome again.
Thank
You
you.
know, it's really good to
Excited and
have
nervous
you
at the same time.
with us. I'm sure we nervous too.
Yes.
We nervous too, but don't worry, just feel at home. You know, we're just thankful for this opportunity to sit with you and just have this dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Light Up the Woods. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
So, Light Up the Woods. So, what we're referring to is my YouTube channel is Light Up the Woods. But Light Up the Woods is really like the brand, because I did have a blog before I had the YouTube channel. And funny enough, the YouTube channel was supposed to come before the blog, but out of fear and being way too pragmatic and way too meticulous, I scared myself out of doing the YouTube channel and decided to go with the blog because it was easier. You just write the stuff, post it on the website, and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
And so as I was planning to create this blog, I couldn't really come up with a name. I had all sorts of names. I had Woods World, I had Into the Woods, I had all sorts of stuff because I wanted to do a play off of my name.
Yeah.
And one time I sat down to write a piece. The website wasn't done yet. I sat down to write a piece and I signed it Lighting Up the World one syllable at a time.
Wow.
And then it just clicked. It was like, Light Up the Woods,
Wow.
right? Because I mean, like, not technically, the world that we're living in can often feel like a wilderness, right?
Yes.
So the woods.
Yeah.
And so the whole point of the blogs was to shine a little bit of light into the world.
Wow.
And so the play with my name was Light Up the Woods, which essentially is just telling us to shine our light into the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this time with COVID, we need some light. We
Yeah.
need some light.
Yes,
Yes.
we do, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been tuning in, and I've been seeing just so much encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in a world that is going through different kinds of pain and hurt, and just to hear the journey and the stories of individuals has been so encouraging.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, it encourages me to keep shining my light, to keep allowing God to use me and to flow through me. And I know
good.
Mel feels the same way as well
yes.
too.
That's good.
You know, and
It's
so-
serving its purpose.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so, you know, the word tells us that we as God's people, we represent His light
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we forget that God, He values us and He's given us power,
Yeah.
you
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
through His Spirit to actually be the light.
Yeah.
Where people, when they see us, they're actually able to see a reflection
Of him.
of God.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we forget that, whoa, God actually is living inside of me. Like, I am important to God.
Mhm.
And so we wanted to just talk a little bit about what it looks like to be the light of Christ in the world. Like, how do we do that? Like, what are things that we should be doing? What came to me was that doesn't have to look one way.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we feel like we have to fit this cookie cutter experience and showcase a cookie cutter experience to the world, that it has to look like this. You have to dress like this.
Yeah.
You have to speak like this. But from my experience, God cannot be placed in a box.
No.
God is able to work in ways that we can't even imagine.
Couldn't even.
And I heard a quote one time by Saint Francis of Assisi, and it says, he said, "Preach the gospel at all times.
Yeah.
If necessary, use words."
Yes,
And
I've heard that one.
Of course, I'm all for, telling people verbally about Christ. I think there's a place for that, and it's important. But I believe also that it's equally important to just allow your lifestyle to speak.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, one of the ways that I think about allowing my light to shine is simply smiling, when I'm walking down the street. Not crazy smiling. not crazy, looking crazy, but just smiling and just allowing people, to allow myself to brighten other people's day by just how I'm living my life. I could choose to walk around like mean mug, but I think one of the ways that God flows through me as well is just by smiling and, complimenting people, allowing people to feel valued. Oh, that's a great bag. That's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
Those kind of things that I believe God kind of flows through me in those kind of ways.
I think for me it's an act of kindness, and I try to do that every day at work, because sometimes people just need that.
Yeah.
They just need that. And as a Christian, it's important that you reflect God, like we mentioned before. And I feel like through act of kindness, that they can feel God through me, and they see what a Christian looks like, what kindness look like. And I try to do that every day in something.
Loving people.
I think for me, like you said, there's no cookie cutter way. There's a million different ways.
Yeah.
You spoke about the complimenting people thing, right? My best friend makes fun of me all the time because she's always in my headphones. Because whenever I'm walking around and talking to her, and I'm always like, "Oh my gosh, ma'am, I love your hair." And she's like, "Do you have to compliment everybody?" But for me, it's like, you don't know how far those little compliments go. And you think it in your head, and it takes all of 30 seconds, maybe less, to say it to them. And I know there's many times that I've been feeling really down, and somebody goes, "Oh my gosh, I love your outfit," and that like gives me a little bit of encouragement for that day. Like it's a bright spot in what was probably a terrible day, right? So I try to compliment people whenever it pops in my head. And something that I know that you subscribe to, Shane, is relationship. Because a lot of times I find that without even trying, just being in a relationship with people actually draws them closer to Christ.
Yes.
I had a friend one time, she came to my dorm room, and I don't remember how we got on this topic, but I remember her saying, because she stopped going to church because she felt like she was being berated because of the way that she dresses. I think she said she walked into a church one time and somebody like tried to cover her up, and she was like, "You don't even know me, you don't know," and that sucks, right? And she just stopped going to church, and she was in my room one time and she said, "You know what? I don't really go to church or like read my word, but I feel God when I'm around you."
Wow.
And I was like, say what? Because I'm not somebody who's like, let's read the Bible together all the time. Like, I'm not that person. Because for me, we'll get into that another time. But for me, I'm like, I behave in the way that God asks me to, or I try my best to do that. And God calls us to love one another, right? So I try to pour love into people and make sure that they can feel the love, but the love that they're feeling is not my own, right? Because I'm only human and people get on my nerves. But Jesus loves them anyways, right? And so for her to say that, it was like, whoa. Like
Yeah.
just from me being your friend.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That's God right there.
And you know,
Right there.
that's amazing because even with the title of this video, Lights, Camera, Action,
Ooh.
what came to me was that God has called us to be his light.
Yeah.
And he is watching us, you know, and
I
joyfully
see that.
watching us, you know, with an excitement and amazement
Come on.
to act
Come on.
on his behalf for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know,
That was good.
it's,
That was
I
so
like that.
good. What is that? Yes.
it's like it's less about the words and more about what's behind your actions, how you're living your life.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It is amazing because God equips us to go out and be, you know, not just in word but in action. And so it's just amazing to hear and see how God is able to use us through our actions.
Yeah.
Sometimes so simple,
Yeah.
you know, simple gestures
Yeah.
to reflect his love
Yeah.
in a way that draws people to God.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's amazing,
Definitely.
you know, and so it allows us to see.
Still thinking
It
about
is dope, right?
It's camera action.
It's really
Don't
lights,
stop.
camera, action
Yeah.
because God is like, listen, guys, I've gifted you. I've given you the ability to do amazing, miraculous things through me.
Yeah.
And all he desires is a willing heart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And
That's it.
and sometimes we feel like we just got that we have to be perfect or get it right. And when God is like, listen, it's not about doing
Not
things
perfection
perfectly,
at
but
all.
depending on me perfectly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Ooh.
like,
Ooh.
you know, you know what I'm
Out
saying?
here, Mr.
Like,
MJ.
perfect your love for me and let me do the work. Place the burden
Right.
on me.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like God invites us to be partners with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be on his team in a way where we're able to work with him.
Yeah.
You know, to glorify him through how we live our lives. And so for me, it's really just wherever you are, you know, if you are a doctor, a teacher, whatever, if you work in a grocery store, wherever you are, you can allow your light to shine by simply being yourself and just allowing God to lead you.
And I definitely think your platform is a very creative outlet for that. Yeah. So, where's that inspiration coming from?
For the platform. Well, okay, so right now the segment that I have on there, because I just started the channel last September on my birthday, and the segment that I started with was Testimony Tuesday.
Oh, you better check that out. We actually did something with that.
Sure
so
did.
Head over to her channel, check that out. Mel and Shane on Light Up the Woods.
Yeah.
So I have Testimony Tuesday, and really what that came from was I was having a conversation with my best friend. So again, I'm very pragmatic. I'm thinking about how am I going to do this channel? What am I going to do? What are the segments going to be? And I'm trying to think these things out. And I'm having a conversation with my best friend about miracles, right? And she was pretty much saying like, God doesn't really do miracles nowadays. And I'm just like, yes, he does. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you don't really see him healing people, like making them walk again and stuff like that. And what I was trying to, in our dialogue, what I was trying to say to her is like, those miracles aren't necessary in our modern time, like, because we have medicine. He gave us medicine. He gave us places that we can go and be healed. The reality is he is performing those miracles in other countries where they don't have that access, but we don't get to see that. For us, our miracles are very meticulous and intricate, and sometimes we miss them because we want to give we want to say it's because of how hard we worked, or we want to say it's because of something else somebody else did, or my favorite one, the universe. And I'm like, well, God created the universe.
There you go.
You know what? It was his planning that made this all come to be. And so it's very easy in a modern day to miss God's hand. And if we share our testimonies and show people how God is moving in our lives, we can actually start to identify, you know, oh wow, these are modern day miracles. These are the ways that he's really moving today, right? And so that's really what the segment came out of. And it's really been blessing me.
That's amazing.
Blessing me.
Me too.
Because I sit on this couch and people are telling me these stories and saying, yo, God is so good. And he's doing all
That's
this
amazing.
stuff.
And what you're doing is what you're lighting up. Not only will you lighting up the world,
Yeah.
and you're helping other people to see the power in doing that too. So
Yeah.
that's incredible.
And I love how you ended. You always say you have a duty to shine your light
In this world.
Listen, so guys, you really do have a duty.
Yeah.
And as we come to the end of this video, we're really hoping that this was a very impactful conversation and that you'll check out Light Up the Woods for the Testimony Tuesdays.
Yes.
And head over to our channel again because we did our testimony
It was
there.
good.
Yep.
So
Yes.
check that out.
It's gonna be good. If God can use us,
He
He can
surely
use
use
you.
Hallelujah.
light up the world.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Alright, so guys, thank you so much for watching our video. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Bye.